Officials are saying damp sensors before takeoff has cost the Air Force $1.4 billion.
The wing had contacted the ground before the pilots ejected, and it was just by grace of God that they were safe, I think, and good systems, obviously. The system worked perfectly, so there's a lot of confidence in the system now by the pilots. Always has been, but they are assured it does work now.
Via teleconference this morning, Major General Floyd Carpenter, who headed the investigation, says moisture on flight sensors caused critical information like airspeed and angle of attack to be off during a pre-flight calibration. The erroneous data was the main reason the bomber stalled during takeoff and fell to the ground. Carpenter explained the fleet's infrequent visits to Guam led officials to overlook the island's humidity as a factor for standard operating procedures.
We're only out in Guam for a few months or even a few weeks a year at the best, and so it was intermittent. We never saw this very often. And even when we did, the data calibration typically fixed the problem. In fact, this was not a problem that caused the jets to take off late or sit on the ground for any reason. So it never became an issue that the maintenance supervisors became aware of because the jets continued to fly perfectly fine.
The Air Force will now mandate examining and drying the instruments, but one thing the report doesn't address is disciplinary action. Major General Carpenter says any punishment will have to be levied by commanding officers at Anderson and Whitman Air Force bases, but stresses the pilots did everything they were trained to do.
The pilots acted as they should have. They tried their best to recover the aircraft. They didn't make any mistakes or in recovery of the aircraft. So they performed as they were trained and as they should have.
Both pilots have recovered from injuries sustained in the crash. The plane will now be disposed of, with the exception of salvageable parts, which will be recycled for training exercises. For the Pacific News Center, I'm Filion Guerrero.